Good day, blessed believers and those friends and those kingdom partners, those of you who are going to see this. Hey, it's another Wednesday. And I want to know, as I begin to greet everyone, I want to know who is looking at this live stream, and I want to know who's winning. Who's winning? Where are my winning people at? Where are my winning people at? Who's winning today? Greetings, everyone. It's another Wednesday here, and I am your host, amen, Prophet and Dr. Carlos Shipman. I have something very exciting to talk about today. And this what I want to talk about today is so great. Or if it get any greater, wouldn't even be able to stand it. It's so great, and the reason why it's so great is, listen, y'all, because this is coming from a place of experience, and not just me, just spilling it. Experience. And I'm glad to see every one of you here. Look, would you do me a favor? If you're not scared, could you do me a favor? Could you do me a favor and like, tag, and share? Share this, because this is going to bless your soul. Glad to see every one of you here. And I know that God is getting ready to say something, or something to get ready to be released from the cloud that's going to bless the rest of your life. All right, everyone. All right, greetings, everyone. Look, I want to talk about this. Listen, I want to talk about this. 6 things that weak people stay away from. 6 things that weak people stay away from. Number 1, hey, everybody. Good to see all of you here. If I don't call you out by name, I'm just looking. Glad to see every one of you here. Listen, we're live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Instagram Live. And I really want to start doing TikTok. I'm not a great big TikTok fan, but look, I want to start doing TikTok. So I need some help. Because I need everybody to like, tag, and share. Listen, I'm going right here. I wanted to give people time to catch up with what I said. 6 things that weak people stay away from. Look, when you begin to go over this list, you're going to see really what's around you. And some of you are getting ready to see, and what is in you is getting ready to be revealed. Listen, all right, you ready? Here it is. Number 1. 6 things weak people stay away from. Number 1 is accountability. Weak people stay away from accountability simply because they don't want anybody coming into their circle or their perimeters, watch this, because they're scared of constructive criticism. And they're scared of constructive criticism. And this is one of the things that weak people stay away from because they don't like check and balance. When there is no accountability in your life, 9 times out of 10, there is no balance in your life. You're putting, and I'm just going to give it to you like this. It's just like a weight scale. And if you have 6 pounds over here, and 10 pounds over here, it's going to lean toward my left. And a lot of people live their lives without accountability. And a lot of times I've seen people who live their life without accountability. I've seen those people live their life in error. And one of the bad things about that is living in error. They really think that they're doing something to please God when God says, I had nothing to do with that. Accountability gives you check and balance to keep balance on yourself, keep balance on your emotions, keep balance on your mindset, keep balance on you being a leader. If you're a leader here, keeps balance on you being a wife, keep balance on you being a husband. It keeps balance on you being a dad. It keeps balance on you being a mom. Yes, all of this has a lot to do with the word accountability. Now, when you really look at that word and you begin to break that word down, It is account and ability. And sometimes the things that we are, watch this, the things that we are putting in our account and the things that we are not putting in our account, it affects our ability. Ability for what? Ability to live prosperous, ability to support, not only support, but be a part of the environment that God has called you to be in. It affects your faith. It affects your spirituality. It will affect your finances. It will affect everything that has anything to do with your life. It will affect your family. Listen, you can be accountable. You can be in a place with 20 people in that place, and you not giving accountability to those 20 people that you come into in that environment is, you will, and I'm going to show you the other part of this, you will eventually slow those other 20 people down. So then, watch this. So then what happens is a lack of accountability will breed selfishness. Oh, 6 things that weak people stay away from. Yeah, accountability. And listen, you need to run right now. And if I were close to you and if I could find, a little lighter or something like that, I would help you. When you come into contact with people that have lack of accountability or no accountability at all, you need to run like your coattail is on fire. Because those people are dangerous people, because when they start to move and you start to see people move and they're not accountable, when you start seeing that selfishness and all of that stuff, it's one spirit that it begins to live from and off of, and that is the spirit of pride. And you don't want to get into the depths. You don't want to get into the depths of living with something that's rooted by the spirit of pride. Yeah, because the Bible says pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Yeah, they have a lack of accountability. And you need to start doing an inventory on people who are around you and the people that you are attached to and the people that you are associated with, because when you find out they are weak, they will stay away from accountability. Now, number 2, got to keep moving, you all. I hope y'all are enjoying this so far. Listen, number 2, 6 things that weak people stay away from. Number 2, they will stay away from self-evaluation. And why is that? They will stay away from self-evaluation because 9 times out of 10, weak people will not take a place in life that they will propel or stimulate growth. Oh, listen, weak people hate growth. And not only will they hate it within the perimeters of their own life, but they'll hate to see the growth in you. Oh yes, growth is an enemy to weak people when you are strong. Yes, that accountability slides right over into this next one, self-evaluation. They don't want to take self-evaluation because, watch this, they will understand then is some things that they have to change. Yeah, because weak people hate change. Because there is no change without growth. And sometimes there is no growth without being challenged. Okay. All right. There is nothing that can grow without a challenge. Okay, God created it like this. Look, you take a seed and you put that seed into the dirt. You put it into the soil. That seed cannot live in that soil until that seed goes through a process of death and breakdown, and only then can it live again. Because the seed goes into the ground, it disrupts the soil and what the soil is used to. Oh, I can't get into that right there because that's going to throw me into another deep place. And see, sometimes you have become the seed that disrupts the soil in a place of poverty. Because poverty was not made for you. You disrupt the soil of generational curses. So well, I know that's supposed to run in my family, but when it gets to me, it runs through my family. You could be the seed that disrupts the soil. So a lot of times, weak people will not like growth because it's going to take them changing, or it will take a disruption in what they're used to in order to get them to come to a new level, a new dimension, or a new place in life, ministry, wife, husband, or anything that has anything to do with their life. Yes, the seed disrupts the soil. A lot of times weak people don't like to take self-evaluation because they don't like to see the bad parts that need to be fixed. And watch this. It's just like a vehicle, just like a machine, anything around your house. You know, I don't know of anyone that can survive off of the bad parts except for just a little while. You know, sometimes the bad parts, you know, it's there and you know it's there and you don't want to get it fixed and you don't want to change it because, you know, getting it fixed is going to make everything else run properly or run better or be greater. And sometimes people will go as long as they can, with the bad parts because they hate to get the new part because they hate to really spend what it needs to come up to the next level. And weak people hate self-evaluation because they know what they're going to have to replace. They know they don't want to have to come up over here. They don't want to have to put that down over there. They don't want to have to bring this up to par over here. Yeah, because they want to just be like they are and let things run. In other words, they're like go with the flow people, which are dangerous people. Yeah. They don't want to do any self-evaluation because they hate growth. Now, anyone that's on this stream that's watching me right now, watch this. You will never be successful if there is no self-evaluation. Now, wait a minute. What'd you say, Prophet? No, you know, and one of the reasons why a lot of people cannot do self-evaluation because they're too busy evaluating others. You ever seen people like that? They're easily, see, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you something right here. I'm going to throw this in. This is not a part of, but I'm going to throw this in here. You know, a lot of people that really can't see, they only see the stuff in others that others need to change. And if they do see the things in others that need to really be changed, if they had any power, any capability of transformation, they wouldn't pick it out to be judgmental. They would pick it out to be graceful and help them change. Yeah. So self-evaluation allows me to see what I need to fix and allows me to see what I need to change and allows me to see where I need to grow and allows me to see where I need to come up and allows me to see where I need to come down. But, you know, but when everybody is evaluating everybody else, it's a lack of growth in your own life. Yeah, they hate self-evaluation. All right, you're getting it. Y'all stick with me. This might be a little boring to some people because it's teaching. All right, can I go to number 3? 6 things that weak people hate. They hate accountability. They hate self-evaluation. Watch this. Number 3, they hate to take initiative. And the reason why they hate to take initiative is because you can't take initiative without stepping up. I wonder how many of you all are dealing with people that don't step up. You're dealing with friends that never step up. You're dealing with a lover that never step up. You're dealing with a partner that never step up. You're dealing with a wife that never step up. You're dealing with a husband that never step up. You're dealing with a boyfriend that never step up. You're dealing with a girlfriend that never step up. You're dealing with a dad that never steps up. You're dealing with a mom that never steps up. You know, you're dealing with people. You're dealing with a coworker that never steps up. Now watch this, because you know what's the worst part about some of this? Is because they won't take the initiative to do it, But watch this. They know what to do. Let me tell you, the worst person to be a part of your business, the worst person to be with in a marriage, the worst person to be with in a deal, the worst person to be with even in a ministry, with people, watch, they will not take the initiative to step up, and they know what to do. Know what to do, but won't do it. Woo! Could you imagine all of the lack that it's allowing to come into life and come into what you're trying to build or what you're trying to grow or what you're trying to establish? People that won't take the initiative. See, people that won't take the initiative, the reason why they're dangerous people is, and the reason why weak people do that, watch this, because they're always trying to throw responsibility on somebody else. They cause the biggest imbalance in your movement, in your workplace, in your family, or in any, yes, it covers the whole spread. It covers the whole spread. Yeah. Won't take the initiative to do, but knows what to do and knows how to do it. Those are dangerous people. Watch it. And let me give this. Let me give an example. Somebody could see you drowning. They know how to swim. They know how to get you out of the water. They know what's going on. They know if you're in a rip current. They know if you, whatever, they know what to do and the right thing to do. Or, it could be other situations in life. They know, and they have the capability of doing it. And they will sit there and watch you die. And you mean to tell me that that's not a dangerous person? Oh yeah, 6 things that weak people do. The person that does not take initiative. Whew. Now watch this. Imagine being in a relationship. Lord, this is some good stuff. Imagine being in a relationship with someone that, watch this, and let's say for instance, you have had a conversation with them and you have told them what the relationship needs, but they never take that. You told them what the house needs, but never take. You told them what your needs. You never take the they never take the initiative of stepping up to bring fulfillment in that matter, because they have gotten to a place. They're weak people. Because watch this, you can't be weak and be in leadership. Now, you can have weaknesses and you can have flaws, but you can't be weak and be in leadership. You can't be weak and be successful. Oh, okay. All right, 6 things. 6 things that weak people stay away from. Number 1, accountability. Number 2, y'all, let me know, y'all. Let me know if this is some good stuff. They stay away from self-evaluation. They stay away from taking initiative. Watch this. And 6 things that weak people hate. Watch this. They stay away from. They stay away from tough skin. Now watch this, because if any of you are on here right now and God has called you to something, you're going to have tough skin. If you're a leader in anything, I don't care if it was a corrupt organization, guess what? You're going to have tough skin. And the reason why you're going to have they stay away from stuff like that, because all they know is to, watch this, is to live weak. Watch it. I'm going to show you something. Because if you live weak, and I'm going to show you how this sets you back, you're going to be bothered by everything that people say. Where the people got tough skin? I know you said it, and I know you did it. I know you're doing it and saying it. The two are making love. Yeah, but still, it shouldn't stop you from doing what you've been called to do. Whenever you've been called to do something, especially by God, how can you allow people who are misfits keep you from being fitted from what God has conditioned you and fitted you to do? Yeah, they stay away from having tough skin because, watch this, I want to be bothered about everything that people say. I want to be bothered by everything that people do. I want to be bothered by everything that I see. Huh? Yeah. This is why, watch this. I'm just add this in. This is a little prophetic. This is why seeing could hinder you. A lot of people are bothered by what they see because they're not really comprehending what God has said. You're bothered by what you see. You see this person doing that, and you see all of this going on over here, and you see all of that going on over there. And the reason why you're seeing all of that, how you're seeing it, because you're not focused. Yeah, you're going to have tough skin. If you're going to be great and you're going to be successful and you're going to be at the top, watch this, you're going to be at the top of the ladder. See, watch this. It's lonely at the top. Oh, it's crowded at the bottom because everybody down there, you go first. No, you go first. No, you do it. No, you go. No, you go. No, you go. Matter of fact, let me step up because I realize who I am. Look, y'all, bye, because I'm gone. Let them go. Let them see it's lonely at the top. Because I guarantee you, people that are at the top or on their way to the top, they had accountability. They did self-evaluation. They took the initiative. They had tough skin. Because just imagine going up a ladder that other people refuse to go up just because they don't take the initiative to. Yeah. Where am I at? Where am I at? Number 4? I got a couple of more. Yeah. Tough skin. Listen. The battles that are coming at you and the battles that you have been through, and because you're chosen and because you're good at being chosen, because you had to be called before you're chosen. And many are called, but the chosen are few. That's why there's few at the top. Because the few at the top had to understand, even coming out of being called, you had to have tough skin. Because let me tell you, let me show you how. Because see, if you don't have tough skin, jealousy will keep you from walking in your own skin. Manipulation will keep you from walking in your own skin. Trials and other people's opinion will keep you from walking in your own skin. That's why God, see your skin, that's why your skin has, watch this, that's why God has created your skin to be tough. Smooth, no, and just because it's tough don't mean that it's scaly. No, watch this. Why? Because your skin is oily. I ain't got time to deal with that right there. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let me move on. Number 5. 6 things that weak people stay away from. Number 5, they stay away from movement. And they stay away from movement. Why? Because somewhere along the lines and the loins of their life, they have, watch this, gotten satisfied with settling. And the only reason they got satisfied with settling is because, watch this, they lost something. So what are you talking about, bro? Okay. You ever heard of the story in the Bible about, the dry bones in the valley? The dry bones in the valley, and it talks about all of the dry bones there. It was a great army. It was a great army. And if it was a great army, that means it had people in leadership positions. And that means it had to be people out there that were leading the troop and not just following the leaders of the troop, not just followers. There were a lot of leaders, because you can't be a great leader if you are not and have not been a great follower. So there were a lot of people, there were a lot of leaders out there with those dry bones. There were a lot of leaders out there as dry bones that had titles. And I think maybe they got to a place of not just having titles, but they got to a place of entitlement. And it lost the functionality of the titles. But watch this. What got them where they are is most of the time rebellion, but they stopped moving. And they stopped moving, so they dried up. See, right now, see, the enemy, see, weak people hate movement because something that's on the move is hard to really target. And you know why they hate it? Because most of the time it's the weak people that are targeting the people who are strong that's still moving. And a lot of times they have got the come on. What do you mean? Most of the time the weak people that have now resorted back to targeting those who are in the movement is because a lot of them have been given the come on. Look, come on. Come on up here or over here and do what we're doing and get involved where we're headed, because if you stay there, you're going to die. Weak people hate transition. Okay. Yeah, they hate movement. They rather settle for a monument. See, weak people in church, weak people get caught up in the temple and not the God of the temple. Because when people get caught up in the temple, you have people that will fight over positions. You have people that will fight over, you will have people that will fight over voicing. When a lot of times weak people, they love venting. You know, we need voices. We don't need venters. We need voices. You know, vent at home. Yeah, so a lot of time weak people hate movement because they resorted back to being targeting the strong people, because it's the strong people that keep moving. Watch this. And they're going through the same thing that the weak people are going through. Just because people are moving does not mean that people are not emotional. That don't mean that we are not going through anything. We just made a choice to decide to keep moving. Now, I don't know who this is to, but you can't be weak. Watch this and see movement. And God told me to tell the strong people, keep moving. How's it going to happen? Keep moving. How you going to get there? Keep moving. They got stuck in the valley. They dried up in the valley. Yeah. See, weak people hate movement because, watch this, movement brings change. Movement brings attraction. Movement brings motion. And wherever motion is, motion attracts money. Movement attracts money. Movement, yeah, because it has something to do with vision. Yeah. They stopped seeing. Yeah. 6 things that weak people stay away from. They stay away from movement. Because I ain't got to do it. Because they have settled. Now watch this, because I would hate to be you. And you have some promises that God has made you. But now you come to a place where you all of a sudden, now you want to be weak. When all of the battles that you have won behind you, if you had been weak, you'd have been dead by now. Is anybody getting anything? If you would have been weak, you'd have been dead by now. It took you, even if you did it by yourself. Listen, it took you, it had to take you had to be strong to come out of that valley, baby. You had to be strong to come out of that battle. You had to be strong to come out of that wilderness. You had to be strong to get out of that abusive relationship. You had to be strong to come out of that mental situation. You had to be strong to lose all that you lost and be in a financial drought and everything is due and pressing against you. You can't be weak and be great. Somebody talk back to me here in this chat. Just say, just help me a little bit, because sometimes I need some encouragement. Just say, you talking good. Okay. Yeah. See, you can't. They hate movement. Because movement, watch this, movement destroys everything that comes against movement. It destroys, watch it, it destroys the opinion of others that won't, watch this, especially those who want you to be a failure when God has already designed you to be. What are we talking about? Winning. You're a winner. 6 things that weak people stay away from. Yes. How many of you can relate to what I'm talking about here? And what, see, yeah. Because you can't be great and successful and think that you're going to be weak. Are you ready? 6 things that weak people hate. Okay, can I move on? Okay, let me move on. Watch this. They hate stability. Now, why do they hate stability? Because, watch this, they hate changing their mindset. Now watch this, because it's a lot of freaking flack. It's a lot of flack. It's a lot going on. It's a lot that people say. Listen, and I look at things from a more spiritual standpoint. The Bible said first natural, then spiritual, but I look at it as a spiritual view. Watch this, because one of the most dangerous persons that you can get involved with in any kind of way is a person that's set. They're set in their mind. They're set in their mind. They're set. Watch this. Set in their ways. They're set in their ways that I would say y'all can understand that better. Set in their ways. Because if a person is set in their ways, watch this. They're more than likely they're not going to change their mind. This is what I'm sticking to. Even if it's wrong, you all. I went into people like this. Toxic folk. Toxic folk, watch this. Toxic folk with the untoxic smile. Toxic people, with untoxic motion. Yeah, they don't want to change their mind. Okay, watch this. You don't believe it? They hate stability. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Hate stability. Because stability is, watch this, stability is what's going to help you stand through persecution. Stability is going to help you weather the storms that come in your life. Stability is going to help you weather the fate that comes into your life. Stability is going to help you overcome what has come to overtake you. Stability is going to cause you to outlast what came in the last time to take you out. Stability. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And you know what I found out? It's not just that particular individual this week is unstable where you are right now. They're unstable at home. They're unstable in their finances. They're unstable when it comes to their living and comes to their life. They're unstable. They're unstable in relationships, whether they're friends, or whether it's a covenant, whether it's a marriage. They're unstable in all of their ways. In other words, watch this. In other words, that particular person puts themselves in a place where they can't be trusted. Why are you all trusting people who are unstable? Why are you trusting people who are double-minded? 1 minute they're doing this, and 1 minute they're doing that. The next minute they're doing this. 1 minute there, watch this. And you can't trust them. Why is that? Because most of the time, that particular individual that's came into that weak place, they live off of the broken promises that they have told others. Watch this. And that means they fuel your hurt. They fuel your heartbreak. Oh, you're not going to tell me that if somebody you believe in, somebody you trust in, and they never come through for you. You're not going to tell me that that doesn't bother you. Yeah, because that particular individual is coming to a weak place. They're settled. Watch this. They're set in their ways. And they got, it's really a spirit of stubbornness that really stems from idolatry, witchcraft, and all of that stuff. I ain't got time to teach all of that, but I'm just, it's Wednesday, y'all. I'm winning. Yeah. Stubbornness. The person is set in their ways. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it like that. And I'm not going to. Now, how can you obey God? Watch this. Watch this. Let me use this one, for example. There was a man named Naaman, and he was a leader in the Old Testament. And I think Naaman, how can you be a leader, but you full of leprosy? You're going to lead like that, and you got a condition like that? Yeah, that was his condition, but it wasn't his conclusion. But you got other people who are looking on the outside, looking in, say, oh, he's in a bad condition. Yeah, it may be my condition, but it's not my conclusion. In other words, that's not the way the story ends. God had a plan. So what he tells Naaman, he said, look, this is what I need you to do. I need you to get down to the Jordan. Go down there and dip 7 times. Now you have to understand something about that particular water hole for my country folk who are out there. That particular water hole had some feces in it. It was dirty. Now, how can I be dealing with a dirty condition and God tells me to get in a dirty water and I come up cleansed of leprosy? Now, he had to do it 7 times. Now, watch this. Watch this. Weak people don't like doing it more than 1 time. Uh-oh. Naaman. Do it again. This is my 2nd time. And I'm still in the same condition. I'm done. That's a weak person's declaration. I'm done. You know, can I throw this in? Yeah. All right. I'm going to just throw this in. You know, throughout my years of ministry, I've seen a lot of people that, you know, people that wrote out their goals and dreams and hopes and even their vision. And I'm looking at some of this stuff that people are wanting in their life, but I'm looking at how weak they are. How you going to get it if you're weak? Because you got to remember, you can take anything from a baby. You're looking at a warrior's vision, but you're moving in a child's motion. Yeah, Naaman, go do it again. Oh, this is my 3rd time. I'm just, let me just go ahead and die with it. And it don't even look right because leprosy covered the skin. It turned to a different color than everybody. And then when you had leprosy, you know everybody talking about you because, watch this, and everybody knew you couldn't go to Food Lion. They didn't call you. They didn't tell you. They didn't say, Naaman coming. Unclean, unclean. Wherever you went. No offense to Food Lion. You're going into BJ's. Unclean, unclean. Didn't know it were you. Anybody that walked around with leprosy like that, they had to holler out, unclean, to know people, know that they were coming, because if they got too close, oh my God, they got too close. And if you get too close to somebody that had leprosy, then the leprosy got on you. All right, Naaman, 4th time. Oh, I'm tired of dipping. 5th time, I'm tired of dipping. 6th time, I'm tired of dipping. I'm just not going to do it anymore. But God said, you got 1 more dip. I don't know who this is to, but you got 1 more dip. Naaman goes down. You can imagine people looking. He's a fool. He's crazy. Sometimes people, watch this. Sometimes the weak people on the sideline always criticize the people that's in the game. Oh, they're going to lose. And they always think negatively of you. Watch this. Until the 7th time, here it is, Naaman comes up cleansed of leprosy. Yeah. And weak people, they don't want to be stable like that. They double-minded. They don't want to, watch this, because they made up in their mind, I'm going to just settle for where I'm at. Settle for what I am. Yeah, because this is how it just is going to be. Well, 6 things that weak people stay away from, you all. Anybody blessed here? Just wave your hand up. Drop the fire and say, I'm blessed. All right. Yeah. All of that. Yeah. Double-minded. Don't trust a double-minded person for anything. Could you imagine being married to somebody that's double-minded? They get halfway through. Oh, I made a mistake. Business partner. Oh, I made a mistake. Ministry. Oh, I made double-minded. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with what you stepped into. It has something to do on the inside of you. Double-minded people can't be trusted. Double-minded person is unstable in all of their ways. Yeah, okay. Can I give you this last one? Can I give you the last one? This is the last one. 6 things that weak people stay away from. Watch this. What's this? It's you. They stay away from you. You know why they stay away from you? Because you've been through so much in your life that you realize you can't play at this and expect to win. Yeah. Yeah, they stay away from you because they're really, see, they stay away from you, but really, you inspire them. You should be inspired them, but because their spirit is not right and because they're weak, you intimidate them. Yeah, they stay away from you because they know that you, they know that you are not going to tolerate foolishness because you can't be foolish and win. Well, I never seen that in the Bible. You know, give me a scripture. Foolishness is in the heart of a child. And how you going to have the mind of a child, have the mentality of a child, and win against a giant? Yeah, they stay away from you because they know you are not going to accept anything to come in and kill what you've been building and what you've been doing and establishing in your life. They know that you're not going to accept. Watch this. They know that you're not going to accept them doing half of the work. You know, watch this, you all. You know, it's something when people can see you building, can see you working on something. And they act like they want to be a part of it and act like they want to support you in it. And then if something becomes complete, they want to be the people that talk about, look what we did. But watch this. They want to say, watch this. Weak people love to celebrate victories with you, but don't like to help fight through what you need to fight through to get to that victory. Uh-oh, this is where you drop them off. This is where they fall off. Because what you've been designed to do in the earth is great exploits, and you can't do great exploits you being weak in your life and in your faith and in your expectation and in your fight expecting to see victory. Weak people stay away from certain things because it calls them to be somebody different. Yeah, and they stay away from things like this because, you know, you just got to it. And you watch it. You know, the bad thing about it is, and this is where some of y'all, let me throw this plug in. Watch this. Potential is a joke. Yeah, potential is a joke. Just because they got the potential don't mean they're going to possess a promise. Because potential within without potential working out is always going to leave you stuck. Yeah. And some of you have simply, watch this, God is breaking something here. And some of you have simply made mistakes just simply because you got a good heart. Now, and you're going to have to learn this season, have a good heart, but also have tough skin and have discernment. And some of you have been coming in contact with the wrong people. And I say that because, watch this, God said where 2 or 3 are gathered, I will be in the midst. And if I can find just any 2 agreeing and touching on anything, I do it for you. You know, sometimes, watch this, sometimes we have a lot of people touching us that are not really agreeing with us. So you have to watch men because, and see, let me show you the difference between God's approval and man's approval. Man will approve you of just enough, and people will be happy with you being approved of what you're approved for, as long as it's not more than them. But God's approval says, watch this, my hand is on you, so you watch this, expect the great. You're always limited with man, but you are limitless with God. You're unlimited with God. Yeah. Man only wants you to have this. But God says you can have that. And anything more than this, what man says you can have, jealousy comes up. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody left that said, oh, my brother right there is blessed. I'm happy for you, brother. Oh, my sister right there, that's a blessed woman right there. I'm happy for you. I pray more for. Is anybody left that says, I'm not jealous of you, I'm not intimidated by you, I can learn from you? Is there anybody left that says, I'm happy to see your prosperity? You know who's happy for your prosperity? Those who've seen your downfall. People that know your downfall get excited about your come up. See, watch this. This is your last day being involved with weak people. Weak people. Weak-minded, weak-spirited, weak heart, weak soul, weak everything, weak output, weak input. God has called you. Be not discouraged, neither be dismayed. Only be thou, watch this, be encouraged. Hallelujah. Don't be dismayed. Watch this. God sometimes knows how and when to flip the script. You've been designed for destiny. I don't know anything else to tell you. You've been designed for destiny. And what God has called you to, watch this. Now watch this, because I'm not saying you don't have your moments. Everybody has their moments. Everybody has their weaknesses. Everybody has their flaws. Watch this. But you have decided, and you have seen so many things because you kept moving. See, you're not weak when you keep moving while you're hurt. So you had to keep moving. You had to keep building. You had to keep motivating. You had to keep striving. You had to keep improving. All of that stuff. Don't let anybody say that you're weak. Don't let anybody demote you from what God has called you and promoted you to. Sometimes weak people hate it because they understand that you're the best of the best. And if you're not the best of the best, you're part of the best that's in the group. And the thing that got you where you are is a decision. I made a decision that I'm not going to live weak. Hey, y'all, it's Wednesday. You don't know anything else to do but to win. And I decree and declare, watch this, I decree and declare that you're winning, but your biggest win is on the way. Your greatest win is on the way. Your greatest win is about to move in your favor. 6 things that weak people stay away from. The last one was you. So don't be offended. Don't take it personal. This ain't nothing but a G thing. A God thing. They wouldn't understand. Listen, you are winning at all costs. You need to start putting that on your refrigerator. Get it in your mind first. Get it in your heart. I'm a winner and not a loser. Now, I can't even say that I hope you were blessed, because if you received this, I know you were blessed. 6 things that weak people stay away from. Listen, this is Prophet and Dr. Carlos Shipman. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. I hope you were blessed. Cash App is up on the screen. You want to give something, we can give the weekly at $26, in this year, or whatever you want to give. It would be a blessing. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening. Until next time, you all be blessed.